A cherry carousel on the boardwalk of balsamic wood and saffron smooth. This is quite the treat. Good tidings, and on our sky stall of smells for today, we land upon the Pride line of Lattafa, specifically the La collection. A cherry scent that takes some inspiration from cherry smoke, but offers its oils at less than a fraction of the cost. This scent first released around 2023, and it's marketed as a unisex fragrance. It tries to capture a soft fruity sweet with a woody incense exterior. Taking a quick peek of this packaging, I would like to say this thing has been on my radar for a little while since I picked up another one of the Pride collections. Just from the aesthetics alone, I thought it was quite nifty. I also want to mention that the packaging is pretty nice. And I believe that's our batch number down there. And on the inside of that shell, we have this, the housing for our fragrance. This also seems very heavy duty, has nice padding on the inside, and a nice little plaque right here, as we can see. There you go, very lovely. They always do such a nice job with their packaging, especially with the Pride line, I will say. I have a few more from the Pride collection or what have you, and they've also been packaged very well, and I will eventually review those down the line. I don't want to harp too much on the packaging, but I just want to really kind of sell the picture of this as very nice, very soft. It holds quite well. And here's our fragrance bottle. Probably the first thing that most people would notice is a little pocket watch here. And unfortunately, no, it is not real, but it is a very nice little aesthetic of this bottle. If you ever purchased from the Pride line before Lattafa, you'd be familiar with the shape and the cap of these bottles. They do a relatively nice job with embellishing it beyond, such as this one with the pocket watch. Very lovely, simple, yet also has some uniqueness to it, depending on what they're trying to go for. Now, before we spray this, I would like to also mention I have not had a cherry forward scent before. This is my first one, and I decided to do a full wear of this prior to this review, just to make sure I could have all the talking points that I would potentially need down, at least from my perspective. Now, the notes that we can expect before we give this a spray are black cherry and saffron for the top notes. For the middle notes, we can expect olivinum, osmanthus, and amyris. And for our base notes, we can expect balsam, styrax, cypro, and guaiac. Gotta love me some guaiac. Okay, as the usual, we'll do one spray for the sky, and of course one for the skin. Solid little spray right there. And as always, one little more here. Okay, and we're just gonna let that sit for a moment to help dissipate some of our alcohol, and we'll be right back in just a second. And we are back. Now, the one thing that I think a lot of people have hesitations with when it comes to cherry smells of any sorts, this isn't even specific to fragrances, is it going to come across as like cough syrup or something? And I will say, this does not. When you spray it right away, the cherry is very lovely. It reminds me of cherries in a jar, that type of smell, if you know what I mean. A sweet, smooth, fruity cherry scent to it. Definitely doesn't smell like medicine, which was quite the surprise for me. Very enjoyable. I'll say it's predominant for the most part in the beginning, in the middle, and slowly fading into those end stages for your cherry. So a very cherry heavy fragrance, but not to the point of smelling like, once again, cough medicine. There is a little bit of incense here. To me, it's not overpowering. It's light. It's complementary of the cherry scent. An overall picture of this is it's cherry, little wood, little balsamic, and just a spritz of incense in that. And it does seem to last a wee while as well. I will say when I wore this, I sprayed it, it lasted through my whole work shift, and it faded from a strong cherry to a mild and to a little bit of a lesser one, but still enough to think to myself, this is a nice little cherry scent. And you kind of get that guaiac wood playing a little bit forward after a while, giving it a little bit more longevity in my opinion. Now, as to when I would wear this, I believe it's kind of in a little middle ground for me. Probably a fall-winter scent, maybe spring if you have some mild weather or a nice air-conditioned office. Wouldn't be too shabby. And that kind of plays into the where to wear the situation as well. I think this would do a pretty good job anywhere. Now, I will say if you spray a little bit heavy on this, might be a little too strong on that cherry scent. It does kick pretty fast and pretty loud right away. So if you're going to wear this in the office, just be a little bit careful with it. Other than that, it's a very lovely scent. Out of 5 little clouds, I think this is a solid 4.25. For triple P's, it's around $35. I once again believe I picked this up on Amazon. I know it's kind of like a gray area when you buy fragrances, but for me, I've had pretty good luck with buying on Amazon. I don't know if I would buy anything expensive on Amazon when it comes to fragrances due to the potential nature of swap outs. For performance of this, it lasts quite a while. On the skin, I'd say it's a solid 6-ish hour fragrance. On the clothes, yeah, it keeps going on the clothes, honestly. It just doesn't really let up for a while. It's going to be a wee bit strong on clothes, so just keep that in mind. And as for projection, it had a decent size to it that I could smell when I'm walking around. If I left a room and came back to it, there was a little pocket of cherry still just lingering there, just enough to remind myself that, hey, I was here not too long ago. So keep that in mind once again when you're spraying this. I'd say like 4 sprays seems to always be the magic number for me. And this one is no different. Overall, if you're looking for a cherry scent for less than $40 and some very nifty little packaging with a nice little pocket watch, I'd say give it a go. Or at least try a decant. That would not hurt. Granted, I'm not quite sure we could find a decant of this. I wasn't having much luck, so I just told myself, let's just give it a buy and see how it goes, under the excuse of having a little video here for you guys. Feel free to like and subscribe. I never mind it, and I always do appreciate it. And I always do appreciate you too. Anyhow, anywho, and anyway, I think that'll do it for us today. I appreciate you stopping on by as always, and I do hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye now.